How's it going, fellow gamers? It's Blue, the True, and some Sonic Frontiers gameplay dropped, and I have to say, I am the very much opposite of impressed. I am depressed. Basically what I want to do is I want to go over both videos and let you guys know what I would do to improve the game. Because I know everyone knows what issues we all have with the game. I think the issues are pretty obvious right now, so I guess I would like to put my own spin on it. What would I do to make the game better? So basically, we're starting off with this Ubisoft tower over here, and I think this looks pretty okay. The physics kind of look wacky, like how Sonic is running. Of course, the animations, we all hate the animations already. It's pretty obvious. But over here... Okay, this is the first issue. What the heck is this? Now, again, I know everyone's pointed this out. This problem is the punch over here. And... honestly, I don't even know why Sonic is punching. Sonic is not a punching guy. His powers is being fast, so obviously his strength is in his feet. I don't know why he doesn't do like a spin kick or something. Like, he's punching like that much, and the hitbox is like that big. So why not do like a spin kick? Why a punch? I think this game looks really beautiful, by the way. I really like how the graphics look. It's just the issue, like technical issues such as poppin' that are making the game look bad. But like graphics-wise, texture-wise, model-wise, it all looks really good. I'm kind of mixed on this, because when you're moving slowly, obviously, I think they... How's that sound my mouth made? Okay, I think what they should have done is at high speeds, the hitbox can be larger, just to make it easier for players who are running really fast to collect things. But when he's just walking... See, this is the thing about video games. I think you need to make them really dynamic. The issue with Sonic is that he's not a very dynamic character. And what I mean by that is, like, he's not interacting with the environment in interesting ways. Things are not changing to make things work smoother, right? For example, in Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, they made it so that if it looks like you're attacking an enemy, you would attack an enemy even though realistically you're not. That is dynamic gameplay. It's changing to make things more smoother for the player, and I guess in a way, yes, the fact that he has a bigger hitbox makes things smoother for a player while they're running fast, but then they need to keep it dynamic, so when Sonic is at a walking speed, maybe they should lower or make the hitbox smaller so that it feels much more normal when you're just walking. Another thing here, grind rails, there's no momentum involved, but he's just going up! He's going up! He's The game lacks momentum so much. This is not momentum-based gameplay. Sonic is just stuck to a wall doing really specific movements. Over here, he doesn't fly up because of momentum. It looks like a fixed animation that will happen every time. It's not looking good. I also think Sonic needs to be in two modes. I think there needs to be a running mode Sonic and a walking mode Sonic, because he does not... like, they're just very slightly tilting the stick here, and it doesn't feel very natural for Sonic to be walking, so I think there needs to be kind of like a run button thing in Sonic Lost World. Like in Sonic Lost World, I think that felt a lot more natural. I think another issue here is there's just a bunch of floating platforms and grind rails just scattered across the level. And I don't think this is how you have to make an open world Sonic game. Again, Sonic the Hedgehog, momentum. It all comes down to momentum. The world should be really interesting to, I guess, traverse. Now, I know this is difficult in a Sonic game because Sonic is a platformer, so he does need those wacky kind of environments to traverse through. So I think it shouldn't be a fully open world game. The problem here is this is so open, they have nothing to do. So all they can do is automate you to guide you. But what they really need to do, for example, here's a valley. We need a valley where Sonic just can't run up rocks, and he's just stuck there, so you have to go through an obstacle course to continue through the game. But also, I don't want to limit the player as well. I want Sonic to be able to wall run up walls, etc. So I think there should be kind of a distinction between walls that you can run on. So maybe walls that you can't run on are really rocky, or walls that you can run on are smoothened out. I know that like games like Tomb Raider also have signals, or like kind of like these things that tell you that you can do something on a certain object. For example, Tomb Raider has their ledges covered in cum, so you know that they're sticky enough to grab onto. So I think Sonic should do something similar to that with his wall running. Have something to signify that he can run on the walls. See, there's a problem. It's so open that Sonic has nothing to traverse through. And even if they put obstacles in the open area, Sonic can easily walk around them. That's why I'm saying put him in a valley that traps him in there. Another interesting thing would be like to go into a city where there are roads and stuff like buildings blocking your way, so you aren't able to just go wherever. You have to follow a set path. It'll still be open world. GTA is an open world game, but you're in a city. But it'll limit Sonic so that he can follow a certain path, therefore he can go through certain platforming challenges. That's why I also really do like the scaling tower idea, because it limits Sonic to a tower. If he falls, he has nowhere to go. It's still open world in a sense, because he has the freedom to leave the platforming challenge whenever he wants, but to actually progress, he has to actually go through it. If only the level design was good, because it's very automated. There were a lot of springs, but again, it could be a tutorial thing. But I also said that with Sonic Forces, so I'm not going to make the same mistake and really bank on the fact that it's a tutorial. Another thing I have issue with is that they got rid of the drifting. Now, I'll talk about drifting a little later. I think it can be integrated into the combat real nice, so... see, what is that? What the heck is that? What the heck is this? So he goes in, he jumps in, boom, and it changes the camera angle to this for like 2 milliseconds, and then it changes back. What is that? Like, my issue is, like, the game is super unpolished, and yeah, they can fix it later, but they didn't do that for Sonic Colors Ultimate. They didn't do that for Sonic Forces. They haven't fixed TSR, and the problem is, like, lots of games can look really polished and come out really glitchy. So if this game looks glitchy, it's probably gonna come out even glitchier. So before that, the exploration, I thought it looked really bad. It looked very boring, and this is definitely a game I wouldn't buy if I didn't already like Sonic. Alright, so the combat is not looking good here. It seems like it's very button mashy. Like, you homing attack, and then you probably just continue pressing the homing attack button to punch and kick. I don't mind button mashy too much, but the boss isn't doing anything interesting enough to break up the button mashy points in the game. So all it does is electrocute, so all you have to do is just wait and then continue. Like, that's it. That's the pattern. There's this weird move where Sonic just teleports backwards and then boosts in a zigzag pattern into the boss. I don't get that. I would understand if he like did a backflip like 2 inches back and then boosted into the boss, but this is like overkill, and it wastes a lot of time with a lot of pointless animations. And it also doesn't have an animation for him going backwards, so it looks awkward as well. I also do not like the spin cycle. It is the most boring move ever. He moves so slow. The bitrate of this video is so bad, but he runs so slow. And it's not even cool. Like, it's just a bunch of swirly air particles that appear inside, which is very not Sonic. I think the coolest way you could do the spin cycle is to, firstly, let Sonic run at full speed. He looks like he's not able to run at full speed. Secondly, when he connects the spin cycle, it needs to play an animation where he runs and then he just kind of like disappears. Like he does the animation in Sonic Mania, you know, this animation. And then you know when an anime character goes so fast they disappear? Sonic needs to do that. And then wherever the spin cycle trail is, it will start glowing blue, kind of to show where Sonic is running. And then Sonic will just appear back again, and then a powerful like gust of wind should follow where he ran. That would be so cool. It'd just be so much more entertaining to do and watch. So here, we get a multiple enemy fight, I think? Yeah. I think this game would be so cool if they just put Sonic in with like a big group of enemies, like 50 enemies at once. That'd be such an exciting fight. And I think the gameplay mechanics are solid enough that it can be very bare bones as long as the enemies are fun to fight. As long as they're really fun enemies. That camera movement is so... There is no easing in and out. It just goes. It just goes... Like, what? And there's no animation. There's like this thud. Like, it's so dramatic, but it's just... He just turns. It's like animated like a Family Guy episode. Now, going back to the spin cycle, I think something really interesting could be done with it. It's how it can be utilized with bosses. I think the spin cycle should have two phases. A smaller phase where the animation that I explained earlier triggers, but there should be another phase where if you do a really big spin cycle, Sonic does the same animation, but following the animation, he creates a tornado instead of just a simple gust of wind. That would be so cool. And it'd be so cool to utilize that in like a boss like this. You can basically see how big the boss is. If you ran around that, right? You know what you'd need? The drift, okay? The drift. You should be able to use the spin cycle and the drift. And you can run around that, drift around the boss. And what they can also do is they could probably have like obstacles. Maybe like the boss fights should be in an arena instead of an open world. So in the arena there'll be like platforms and spikes and stuff placed around the boss, and you have to spin cycle your way around it by dodging all those obstacles. If you get hit, you have to start the spin cycle again, and then once Sonic has gotten all that area mapped out, he can just run in circles again and again and again and again to create a tornado, and then he gets out of his little running animation, and then the tornado just appears. And that can, I mean, depending on the boss, that would have different effects, I guess. A boss might fall over, another one might start flying in the air, another one might just die, I don't know. Another cool idea I know I have, is the use of the Insta-Shield. I think they should incorporate the Insta-Shield into this game. Basically what I was thinking about was having Sonic crouch when he hits the right bumper, and if he gets hit by something, he will leave his crouch and do a little short jump in the air, and while he's jumping in the air, he'll also activate the Insta-Shield, which can block him from a bunch of attacks and destroy projectiles and stuff. And that is also when the game kind of freezes, like the world freezes, to give the player time to assess the situation. So if only one projectile hits Sonic and there's nothing else coming for him, he could just keep holding the crouch button, and Sonic would just land and then crouch again, ready to insta-shield again. But let's just say he has like a bunch of attacks coming for him, and he can't protect himself. Then you also have the option to use the left analog stick to dodge out of the way. And I think that'd just be a cute little way to keep the player engaged. And also make sure that the enemies attack a lot, so the player has a lot to dodge and isn't just waiting for the next opening. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. This video was not... Hope this video was alright. It's not too scripted or anything. I just want to get something quick out because I don't really have time to make something very intricate. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe or something. Check out my main channel. Bye.